So the Battlefield 5 reveal was today, as some of you may know. Personally, I was ready for it, but I ended up forgetting because, it was at 3 o'clock today, so it just slipped my mind. So if anyone else was like that and just forgot to, I'm just going to go over a few things and also have the trailer in the video. But I'm also going to go over a few things that they revealed that I think are going to be great improvements to the game. Now, just to let you know ahead of time, I'm not really a Battlefield vet. I played Battlefield 3 when it came out. I played a few Battlefield games, to be honest. I played Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, and I played 4, but I wasn't really heavy into them games. But I played Battlefield 1 a lot. I was really deep into that one, so I'm really excited for this next one. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it, things I think that are going to be great improvements for the game. The number one thing that I think is going to be one of the biggest improvements to the actual gameplay is that they touched on the weapon recoil. Now, if any of y'all played Battlefield 1, you know the weapon recoil was kind of random to an extent. You never really knew if the machine gun was going to kick left or right when the trigger was pulled. So to improve upon that, in Battlefield 5, they've added a greater predictability for specific guns. Certain guns have certain recoils to them, so if you spend time using them, it's not going to be too hard to get good with a gun and become more accurate with it, instead of just trying to guess whenever you shoot where the recoil is going to go. And also, going along with the improved gunplay, they also improved light machine guns, and they made the places you can put a bipod down more varied. So basically, now you don't have to worry about being right in front of like a broken fence or something like that and not being able to place your bipod down and get those good accurate shots. Personally, I love using light machine guns, so whenever I was in front of something I thought I should be able to put a bipod down, it was kind of annoying when I didn't, because, it's kind of hard to aim far away and kill people with a light machine gun, but the bipod kind of improves that. But moving on to the second point, if you play Battlefield 1, you know what operations are, but in Battlefield 5, they took it a step further, and they've named it Grand Operations. Now, the name change isn't the only difference. There's gameplay changes too, obviously. Instead of the 3 waves that you got in Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5's Grand Operation will give you 4 in-game days. And an example of how a grand operation would go would be day 1. Attackers are cast as paratroopers, dropping in behind enemy lines to sabotage long-range artillery. Defenders are trying to take out dropships, and it's entirely possible to wipe out entire squads with a single shot. If the attackers don't sabotage enough of the guns, the attacking side can suffer heavy casualties, and that'll impact what happens on day 2. Day 2, the attackers have taken to the ground, but the number of vehicles and resources they have is very limited or plentiful depending on how many artillery guns they took down in the previous day. On day 3, the conflict continues on another part of the map, showing heavy destruction to the parts that have gone through. It's possible for the match to end here if one side has a clear advantage, but if not, then the match goes to sudden death. Now, this is the mostly new part for grand operations. On the 4th day, there's a different style of play. Been fighting for 4 days, and DICE wants to give you the feel that you're exhausted, you're out of resources, you're out of soldiers. This round is known as Last Stand. Each player has a single life, 1 magazine of ammo, and no additional supplies save for what your squad can provide. There are no respawns, but you can be revived by your squad mates. And to make things even more dramatic, for this final round, the dynamic weather is dialed up to create a dramatic a finale as possible. Now, that being said, I hope they don't do that bullshit with the fog that they had in Battlefield 1, because that was annoying. But moving on to the third point. Okay, for the very last point, this thing is pretty much just like the gas mask in Battlefield 1. Well, in use, it isn't, but in the fact that everyone has one, it is. In Battlefield 5, they're giving everyone a tool which lets players build fortifications. Now, this is really a game changer for me personally, because in all the other Battlefields, I really enjoyed the fact you can tear down and destroy almost anything, but adding the aspect of being able to build things back up and build fortifications, that'll just make another layer of gameplay, especially in modes like Grand Operations, when you have to take a point and everyone knows you're taking that point, and you can easily get your ass hemmed up. Other than the actually rebuilding of buildings, you can build little fortifications such as foxholes, trenches, sandbags, barbed wire, tank traps. And also there's another really important thing that they added on into this, and that's the fact that you can now tow field artillery and AA guns behind tanks. Now, to me, that's a game changer, man. because the fact that those AA guns and field artillery were, well, not really the field artillery because those kind of ass to me in Battlefield 1, but the AA guns, the fact those kind of locked in a position, that was kind of annoying. But with this inclusion of being able to tow the AA guns, now you can pretty much set a defensive perimeter up in certain places. It's like back in the 90s in the NBA where you could only play man defense. Now they throw in zones. Shit lit. Well, that's about it for all the stuff that I'm looking most forward to in the game. I really want to hear from y'all what y'all looking forward to. But other than that, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff if you want. It's Big Stall, and I'm out.